Hey guys, Mary Meet, and I'm sorry it's been a long time since I've done one of these, um, but I haven't had really great luck with my equipment lately. My phone camera and also my computer are not the best, and let me adjust this a little bit more. You can tell I haven't done this in a while. Yeah, so I haven't really had good luck with those lately, so I've been doing less YouTube readings, but this one is for Doll, and Doll's fun. She's somebody that I adore. We kind of keep crossing paths, but haven't really had a chance to hang out. She's awesome. She's got this amazing energy, and I'm really excited to do this. So, yeah. So Doll ordered the relationship reading, and what happens with a relationship reading is we've got here is the other person. So this is meant to be examining the relationship between you and another person. So this line is the other person. This line here is you. And then in the middle is kind of where you meet. So that's where you get along or where any problems may arise. Okay. These cards over here are your special guidance. Okay. So we've got body, mind, soul, and emotions. Okay. So yeah, so let me talk a little bit about the stones I chose. This up here is my Rutilated Quartz. I use that for every reading. That one's kind of more for me for clear vision. Here we've got, it's kind of hard to tell, it looks a little gray. We've got ruby and zoisite. And ruby and zoisite is really good. It kind of blows open your heart chakra, but it also tempers that with your mind. So you won't go do silly things when you're working with this stone. So it does help you find love and help you be in love and help you experience love, but not in a foolhardy kind of way. So now here, this one and this one right there are rhodonite. And rhodonite it's great for love. Again, it's heart chakra stuff, but it also helps you with self-love, okay? Because, as you know, like, you can't really show anyone else love until you love yourself. And we all know that, but sometimes it kind of helps to be reminded. So here's a better view of that. So rhodonite's good stuff. Now here are these little pink guys. These are just rose quartz. And rose quartz is always good just for love. Let me straighten these out. Yeah, they're always just good for love. Any kind of love or even friendship, anything where you're relating to another person in a kind and gentle and compassionate way, it's good for that. Now this strand here, this is garnet. And garnet is good for passion. It's good for kind of finding the strength to put yourself out there, which is not always super easy. But it is, it is also for passion, for love in a more of a carnal way. So, we could all use a little bit more of that, right? So, yeah, garnet's one of my favorite stones. So, for that reason. Now, the decks I'm using are, the tarot deck is Colette Baron Reed's The Good Tarot. And I'm sorry, I've got a nice glare here. The Good Tarot. And I love this deck because it is very kind and comforting and nurturing. It's very good for any kind of relationship reading, just because it is so sweet and gentle and kind. So I really like this deck a lot. I like everything that Colette Baron Reed does, but this one is especially good. For the oracle reading over here for your special guidance cards, I'm using, also by Colette Baron Reed, the Enchanted Map. And I love these. They always just give such a clear reading, such a clear path, right? They tell you exactly kind of where you need to go. These just always read really well for everyone. So those are the decks. And let's get started. So the first row up here we've got is body. And again, this is the other person. This is you. And then this is kind of where you meet in the middle. So first we have, the Ten of Air reversed. So that's interesting. I see that this person kind of, the Ten of Air is usually about burdens. About, let me show you that. it's usually about burdens. It's usually about being felt like held down even by things that you like. And with it reversed here, I see that this person is a free spirit. This is somebody who, for better or worse, is kind of hesitant to get into any kind of a relationship because they worry about being held down. And it could be that, you know, they have experienced that in the past by somebody who is very controlling, and they're just not into that now. They just do not want to have that experience. Okay. Now that's in the body, so that can kind of indicate sexually. Okay. So it could be that they want to experience a lot of different things sexually, and, you know, that's kind of valid. You kind of have to honor that. You know, sometimes you can experience all those things as a couple, but sometimes the mindset is that you will be giving up sex with other people if you get into a serious relationship. Now, polyamory and things like that aside, that's kind of a common thing with a lot of guys, so it's not surprising. And I feel like that has to do a little bit with age, with his age, you know, or maybe he just got out of a long relationship and he wants to play around and kind of play the field. So, yeah, so that's something to keep in mind with him. Now, as for you, I've got, sorry, you're seeing my fat arms here. The Ten of Earth. Now, the Ten of Earth is usually about stability. It's usually about, like, having a family, like long-term plans, long-term, even like inheritances, you know, things that go through generations. But here reversed, I show that you're kind of like not super into that. You're not feeling that. It could be that you just are not feeling stable. Sorry, that was a garage door. It could be that you're not feeling stable, or that you don't want to feel stable. You don't want to feel tied down. You don't want to feel that whole weight of the ages on you, right? Like, you've got to have a family. You've got to build your legacy. You have to, you know, make sure there's something for someone to inherit someday. I feel like you're just kind of like not into that. So actually that kind of makes you a good match here for somebody who doesn't want to get too tied down, because you're not super into that either, right? You're not the kind of person who's going to just, you know, pin someone down and make them build a family with you, right? So that's a good thing, right? And again, this is in the body section, so yeah, I mean, physically, I feel like you kind of just are not into tying anyone down, you know, and that's cool. Like, you know, they say if you love someone, set them free. Like, that's your jam. So, yeah, so that's a good thing. So now together, we've got, Nine of Air. Now, Nine of Air is, well, it's kind of interesting here. Nine of Air is usually about finding something that you're willing to fight for, finding something that you care about enough to fight for. But here it's reversed. And I feel like you're maybe having trouble getting started because neither of you are that anxious to get into something like that, you know, again, may keep you from being you, if you will. So you're kind of, neither of you are willing to fight for it that much. It's kind of like a, hey, it would be nice kind of thing, but only if it happens easy. And, you know, these things often don't happen easy. You have to put some work into it. So it's kind of up to you to decide, do you really want this? And if you do, you have to, like, really put yourself into it. And, you know, just keep in mind, too, you don't have to tie each other down. You don't have to be, there are a million different ways to have a relationship. Yeah, so, you know, you've got to decide whether it's worth fighting for, whether it's worth, like, really trying. Yeah, so. Alrighty, for your special guidance card, I've got to work around the camera here, so this is a little crazy. We have, Peaks of Joy. Now, let me grab my book, because this is an oracle deck, and I don't have all the, I don't have everything memorized here. If I tried to memorize every oracle deck, like, I would not, I would just drool and walk in circles all the time. So, Peaks of Joy, yeah, it says, joy is yours. No matter what happens, you're going to be happy with the outcome. You know, you've worked really hard for your friendships and for your, I know you work really hard. I know you work really hard in a work sense. And you've worked hard for those connections that you've made. And so that's already yours. So kind of appreciate that. Like, you're going to be happy either way, basically. Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot going for you. And so, yeah, I mean, decide whether or not you want to fight for this. But also, like, if you decide you don't, look, I mean, again, look at how free she is. She's got all this freedom, right? She is just light as air. Yeah, so just kind of make that decision for yourself. So, alrighty. Now, body, this is mine, so this is where you guys are at, you know, where you're thinking and probably overthinking if you're anything like me. So as far as he goes, Two of Earth. Now, Two of Earth kind of shows up when you're trying to build something, when you're trying to make your finances work, okay? This can mean he's a little bit preoccupied with his financial situation right now. And so he's not necessarily thinking about, again, he's not necessarily thinking about a new relationship. He's thinking about how to get his financial shit together, if you will. It can also be about balancing things, and it could be like maybe he's got like a work life and a home life and all these different things that he's trying to balance, so he kind of doesn't have time even. Yeah, so I mean, you know, he's kind of like focused on just trying to get this balance and trying to work with his finances or with, you know, whatever it is that he is kind of torn between. So it could be that he's just distracted mentally. So as for you, we've got Four of Earth reversed. And I kind of show this, you're not that worried about money. You've got your financial situation kind of worked out. And we've talked a little bit, too, about what you're kind of planning on doing career-wise, just a little bit. We've just touched on it. But it seems like financially you're fine. You know, you've got everything taken care of. You have gotten yourself into a position that you feel fairly secure. So money isn't a thing for you. So you have trouble, like, feeling where he's at with this. I mean, you've been there before. We've all been there before, right? But you're just not there right now. So while you aren't necessarily worried about money, he is, and maybe that's a bit of a blockage. Let's see where you guys meet on this. So the two of you, Queen of Earth. Okay, so yeah, so I feel like neither of you are feeling like a lot of stability on this. The Queen of Earth, she's the one who has figured everything out, right? She's the one who has just gotten her shit together. So she's reversed here, and that makes me think that, you know, he's seeing, you know, you've kind of gotten your shit together, and he's seeing that as a bit of a frustration for him because it just kind of highlights that he hasn't gotten his shit together. You see him in this struggle, and you're like, why hasn't he gotten his shit together? You know what I mean? So yeah, the Queen of Earth, she's really interesting here. And so mentally, you've got these 3 Earth cards, and that's telling me finances are a big thing with the two of you. There's just a big difference in how you deal with them and how you feel about them. So yeah, so mentally, and we all know finances can take up a lot of our brain space and our brain power, so that's not surprising. So now your special guidance card here is Strength. Now Strength is also in tarot, but it means something a little bit different here. It's one of my favorite cards. But let's see. It says, alrighty, the strength to accomplish even the most daunting tasks is yours at this time. Okay, so this is something that you can overcome, again, if you decide to fight for it, if you decide to really work at it. So this is something, if you sit down and you talk about financial things, you can probably work this out. You can connect with and channel the power of the universe. The Strength card indicates that your ideas are being tested and refined and your relationships are being deepened. So maybe in having a conversation around this, that's going to, you're going to let each other know where you're at with it, and it's really going to help, right? Because, you know, if you can be with someone through their struggles, then that's a solid relationship, right? Talk to my husband about that. So, yeah. So, yeah. And again, there's a lot of earthy imagery here, right? She's got this kind of, it looks like made of trees. She's holding a globe here with a tree on it. So again, earth. Okay. So that means, yeah, you need to have a conversation so that if you do start something here, it can be solid. Okay. Earth is all about being solid and stable and together. So yeah, so that's a conversation that needs to be had. So, alrighty, body, mind, soul. Okay, so this is kind of like your spirituality, if you will, kind of like where you're at just in your life path, that sort of thing. So I've got Page of Earth. Now he's, again, the page tends to be someone who starts things, who starts projects, who starts, you know, just anything new. And the Page of Earth would be starting something that's going to be solid. Okay, the Page of Earth is actually a student, because he is starting something that is going to be around for a long time. Okay, he's building some solid foundations. Okay, now we've got him reversed here. So he's not, again, wanting to build anything solid. He's not wanting to start anything new that's going to end up being a long-term relationship. But again, I mean, there are all different ways to have relationships. You know, just, I would say in this case, just kind of like, let him, you know, kind of, I don't know, just don't have huge expectations of him right now, because he's kind of just not there. He's not in the same space that you are. If you do, and you know, want to start something serious and long term. Yeah, but as far as spirit, like, I feel like he's on some different path, right? Spiritually, he's just kind of more doing his own thing. Maybe he's more spiritually focused than relationship focused. I mean, that could certainly be indicated here. So, and again, it's earth, so that's all about solidity and security. So, hey, I'm so sorry for the interruption here. I went back to edit and realized there was some noise in the background that I could not get around, so I kind of set the reading back up, and I wanted to go over these two cards again, and then we'll go back to the original reading. But so we have the Page of Earth for the person in question, reversed, and for you, we've got the Messenger of Air reversed. Now, the Messenger of Air is kind of like the Knight of Swords, really. And the Knight of Swords is about thinking. It's about being very clear, very focused, analytical. It's all about intellect and just being very clear-headed. Now, with it reversed, I see that you're not very clear-headed. You're trying to figure out what's going on, and you're thinking about this a lot. So with this in the spirit area here, or the soul area here, this is weighing on you quite a lot. It's driving you crazy. It's one of those things where you go around and around and around in your head, and you're really just trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And that's, you know, that's okay. We've all been there, but it's just not the healthiest position right now. So while he's not wanting to start something up, you're just focused on it. You're very focused on it. And yeah, I mean, you've got like other things on your mind too. You know, we've talked about some other things that you have going on. I know you're extremely busy. So you have like a lot of things on your mind. So yeah, so that's where you're coming from. And then with both of you together, you've got the King of Earth reversed. Now, the King of Earth is just the ruler of stability, of financial success and happiness and ease. He is the one who is just incredibly grounded and incredibly practical. Yeah, he just embodies the earth element, which is all about that stability and that security. And he's reversed here, so I just feel like it's not here for the two of you because of where you're at. He's not wanting to start anything brand new. You have just so much going on and like a lot on your mind, and there's just not a lot of stability there. Now, here's where I point out you have so many Earth cards. It's crazy, and they're all like high Earth cards. So you've got the 10 of Wands, or I'm sorry, 10 of Earth here, Queen of Earth, the Page of Earth, and the King. You've got almost the whole court of Earth here. So a lot of this comes down to stability, okay? And he kind of doesn't want it, and so it's not there. So yeah, so I'm going to come back and we'll continue on. Your special guidance here is flying. Oh, and we've got more of that air imagery here, which is kind of interesting. We've got a lot of air and earth. So let's see. Flying. Alrighty. Saying when you soar above life's challenges and opportunities, a new perspective comes available. So maybe this is even someone new. Today you have invisible wings that allow you to swiftly bring... Sorry about that garage door. Today you have invisible wings that allow you to swiftly bring your circumstances into alignment with your highest purpose. This is a sign that your waiting is over, that your hard work is paid off, and the things you hoped for are no longer beyond your scope. Yeah, so again, this is kind of showing that you've kind of got your stuff together. You're kind of together, but you're tired. You're also really tired. So this is saying, hey, just relax. You've got it, okay? You have what you need. So take a bit of a break. And, you know, worrying about this and this person is not restful. It's not, don't stress too much. Be kind to yourself. You know what I mean? It's really hard sometimes. Believe me, I know. But yeah. Again, that air imagery. So. Okay, emotions. This is the one, this is usually like the heart of the matter. Okay, this is feelings. This is where everything kind of comes forward. So, as far as he goes, the Fool. Well, so he's just kind of blindly stumbling through the universe. He's kind of waiting to see what falls in his lap. He is kind of wanting to see just what happens, right? He's not wanting to do anything serious, do anything long term. He just wants to have fun. He just wants to kind of like goof off and enjoy his life. And again, I get the feeling that he maybe has gotten out of a long-term relationship, and so now he's kind of like wanting to go the other way. So yeah, he just wants to kind of trust the universe and trust that what he needs is going to come to him, but he doesn't want to work hard for anything. He doesn't want to be cautious. He doesn't want to do any of those things that, you know, are sometimes required in a long-term relationship. Alrighty, and for you, we have Justice. Okay, so Justice is interesting. I feel like, so I don't want to make any assumptions, but I feel like you're looking for something to balance out maybe some bad relationships you've had in the past. And you think that maybe, you feel like maybe this is the one that's going to do that, that this is going to be the good one that kind of fixes things that happened in the past. Yeah, Justice is about balance, right? They're the scales, right? If a bunch of bad things happen, then good things need to happen. If a bunch of good things happen, then, you know, usually there's kind of like a backlash on that. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, this has to do with something that happened in your past that, yeah, you're kind of looking to this possible relationship to kind of balance that out, and it's probably not going to do that. But let's see the two of you. Nine of Water. Well, so it's weird. I don't know. This is kind of counteracting all these other cards. The Nine of Water is the wish card. Okay, it's the wish fulfillment card, and that, you know, it means the relationship comes to you. It means that you have your happily ever after. Okay. So yeah, so that's kind of interesting because it kind of indicated that he's not super into that. But I feel maybe it is, a question of if you can kind of balance your expectations and create the kind of relationship that will be beneficial for both of you, then maybe something will work out, or maybe you'll be friends, or maybe there's somebody else. Maybe if you spend too much time on this person, you're gonna miss this other person. So yeah, so I really feel like strongly he's wanting to go and just kind of experience all these things. You're wanting to find that thing that balances everything out. You're gonna get what you want. It may not be with him. You do have good things coming up, and we actually saw in the last reading that we did how some pitfalls that could keep you from that, but I feel like there's something out there for you. It's on the horizon. You just need to make the right decisions for your life to get there. Okay, this guy may not be it. I feel like he's probably a really good friend and probably like a lot of fun, but yeah, but he may be it. I don't know. And it may be because he doesn't want to start anything very serious. He just kind of wants to play and have fun and, goof off. Maybe that's exactly what you need. And maybe that is the start to a great relationship. Like, I had given up on dating when I met my husband. So, I think you're going to know what this means. It doesn't necessarily mean anything solid to me. I think you're going to know what it means. So your special guidance here is talisman. That's interesting. So let me look that one up. Okay. Now, this says, this is really good. It says, wisdom allows you to recognize traps on the road and familiar patterns that you want to avoid. It enables you to quickly gather information about where you are in your journey. It helps you recognize your allies and know how to find the best routes along the way. Now you're at a place where you know the right things to do and the best choices to make. You really can't commit a mistake. Whatever your inquiry, great fortune awaits you, for you have the wisdom to arrive at the right decision. You've learned your lessons and earned the right to your success. So yeah, I mean, I feel like deeply whether you want to pursue this or not, whether you're willing to fight for it. That was a big card. I feel like that one really meant a lot. Yeah, so it's kind of up to you what kind of journey you're going to take. And I just want to point out, she's kind of on this path, but it almost looks like she's on a cliffside, like the Fool. So there's kind of that element of jumping into the unknown. So yeah, so I feel like it's going to work out whatever you do. You're the one who knows what this 9 of Cups is for you, this 9 of Water. You're the one who knows what your happily ever after looks like. You're the one who knows what you're wishing for on a deep level, right? So are you wishing for him specifically, or are you wishing for someone that has the traits that he has, but is in a different place? You know what I mean? So yeah. So this is the part where I point out how many earth, air, fire, water cards you have. You have so much earth in this reading. It is crazy. Again, and they're like really high level cards. Okay, so a lot of this is about security and stability, especially mentally and spiritually. You have a lot of earth there. Yeah, you've also got, I would have expected a lot of water, just because water is the element that really encompasses emotions, and it is fitting that it's here in the emotion area, but you've only got the 1. It's mostly earth and air. Okay, and air is about your thoughts and your reasoning and your intellectual capacities. For me, usually it's about overthinking. So wherever I see an air card, I'm like, am I overthinking this? So I feel like you're putting a lot of thought into it, and you're really looking towards stability. So, and even in the images in these cards, there's a lot of air and earth. So yeah, I feel like those are your main influences. You also have, these are your 2 major arcana cards. And so major arcana are the big influences. They're the things that you kind of can't ignore. They're too big. And you've got the Fool here, so that is like huge for him. Like him wanting to go out and just be free and play and dance through the flowers. And Justice here, where you're looking for some justice, basically, for, something that may have happened, or you are wanting, and it could even be that you're wanting to be very fair to him and give him what he wants, and balance the scales of what you want with what he wants. So, yeah, these are two that you should also pay close attention to. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. And yeah, that's pretty much all I see. So let me know if you have any questions. I hope you're having a great weekend, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye. Blessed be.